to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before the new. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew how much I miss.
Welcome to Kinside TV. The program is Money Mindset and Psychology. Today I'm with Mr. Mohammed Abubakar. He's a researcher, financial analyst, and also a PhD student. My brother, welcome.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, brother.
Today we are going to discuss about development after colonialism in Africa. We have looked before, during, and now we are looking at after. So if today is your first time watching us, just go to Kinside TV and you see those videos there. Try to also share and like and comment. My brother, so let's look at how Africa started developing after colonization.
You could see that what brought about end of colonialism is the wave of independence in Africa. So getting to the late 1950s to early 1960s was the wave of the cry for independence of African states. So a few of the African elites who have gone to the Western states, some were even here in Africa, who have been enlightened, got to know about the exploitation of the colonization system. And they demanded that Africa be allowed to rule itself, Africans to manage the affairs of Africa. So that's what brought about the wave of independence. So if you could see, Sub-Saharan Africa, Ghana was the first to have independence, 1957. And you could see that from then to, let's say, 1963, a host of other African countries started seeking independence from their colonial masters. So the wave of independence brought about the end of colonialism, because you could see that in 1960, Nigeria also had independence from the British. People had some, but from what we've learned over the past few months, before colonialism, during colonialism, you realize that colonialism didn't develop Africa. It came to take raw materials to feed European industries. So they didn't develop Africa. So whoever took independence or took up the mantle of development or management of Africa up from the foreigners, from the Europeans, was confronted with a huge task of developing the land and even its human resources. So let me put this clear that even Europe, before what helped with the fight for independence, there was a divide in Europe. There's an ideological divide. Some were capitalists, some were socialists, communism. So if you see, when you go the Russian way, you are communist. You are going for socialism or communism. And when you go the Western European way, you are going for capitalism. And what we've witnessed is that those Africans who gained independence for Africa favored the communism way. They favored socialist ideas, where the state took forefront of every developmental agenda. Every development was state-led. So if you see any form of development, where we it. But let's build it step by step. First, if you take Africa after colonialism, we were left with over 50 states
Yeah.
with 50 different leaders, new leaders, which you need to create. First of all, you need to create a national identity.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have none. There's no point before 1957 where Ghana was going to play this land we live on, or going to play, let's say, a football match, or we are going for a program, and they represented us as this land as Gold Coast. They
Okay.
referred to us as Gold Coast, but we didn't have that identity that we belong to this land. Proud, then you could see that the coastal states were the ones known as Gold Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm using Ghana as an example. And
Yeah.
they brought the Ashantis to add. And later, they brought the Northern Territories to add.
Okay.
You see? So that's what made us Ghana. Even before we even had independence, we had to go for a referendum to add the Western Togoland
Yeah.
before we can be known as this piece of land is called Ghana. Right? Before then, we didn't have any identity. But now something has been created to be called Ghana and give it to a certain man called Kwame Nkrumah to manage. The same thing happened in Nigeria.
Yeah.
It was two people who fought for independence. Nnamdi Azikiwe and Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. Nnamdi Azikiwe is from the south. Abubakar Tafawa Balewa is from the north.
Okay.
Ideally, these are two different countries.
Yeah.
These are two different nation states. At the north, they speak different language. At the south, they speak different languages. And that has, we will get there, but that has even permeated till today.
Yeah.
From what we have seen now. So Nigeria, as it stands, though we call them, this area is called Nigeria. They have one flag, right? They have whatever, one identity we have defined for now. They have pseudo identity. But if you look at it clearly, you will see that these people, they are not knitted together as one people. You see that it's about 3 or 4 different countries clamped together.
Okay.
Unlike when you go to England, everybody speaks English, everybody recognizes one person as their leader, everybody have the same flag and whatever. African countries never had a flag until after independence. Ghana, red, yellow, green, coat of arms. They just came, right? So if you are confronted with the task of developing an African country after independence, I hope you are listening to me.
Go on.
So if you are presented with the task of developing Africa after independence, you are given a much huge task than those countries who were already having identities before us. You understand?
Yeah.
We have our so now you are supposed to create your own national flag. You're supposed to create national identity. So the flag, the anthem, the coat of arms, the civil institutions that forms a country. You are creating everything from scratch. The country didn't have a standing army. You have to create one. The country didn't have a police system. You need to create one. You understand? Even every industry on its own, you need to create it. Start from somewhere. Start from scratch. So that's why almost every old institute in Ghana was started by Kwame Nkrumah because he was given the mantle to start the country.
Okay.
You understand? So how did they start it? Most of the African countries went for one-party governance. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
One-party states. We are all one. Because we are a new country, you can't afford to create a lot of parties to be fighting almost amongst ourselves almost all the time. Okay? So the idea is to start a one-party state. Everybody belongs to one party. So that was the political development. So I'm starting from the political development before I come to the economic
Okay.
development. So the political development, everybody has to stay behind one party. Okay. So all other parties were outlawed. CPP, Ghana, that's where we are moving. Okay. So if you see countries like Tanzania, almost all other countries that gained independence were going for one party states. And of course, when they created the militaries and such, that one party state didn't last. The one party states tend to look like authoritarianism, like
Okay.
people being dictators. Because one person was running the show everywhere. Kwame Nkrumah is our leader. Mm. So some people tasted power for the first time. They started imprisoning their opponents and stuff. So within some few years in Africa, you could see that there was military coups. So Ghana experienced military coup. Ethiopia experienced military coup. Nigeria experienced military coup. Uganda experienced military coup.
Okay. I now understand where you are building the points from.
Mhm.
That's why, because I normally ask myself, why is it that there are a lot of military coup in
Yes,
Africa?
because it was one party state. But even at the one party state level, people should have platforms should have been created for people to express themselves,
Okay.
for people to participate in the developmental process, so people to participate in the national agenda. But it wasn't like that. Almost most of these countries I talked about was purely one person running everything, and the one person was the more like the supreme leader. Everybody should shut up. He created a constitution giving the power to one person, and that didn't sit well with the newly independent African. And one thing the literature also talks about is that Africa had a developmental, we had a leadership crisis. It's more like a very few people who were learned went and fought for the independence, and they kept the power for themselves. So even when things happen and the knowledge to solve when problems happen and the knowledge to solve it falls outside the expertise of the leaders, they were struggling. There was no one.
Okay.
So at this time, you get to understand why some people were saying self-government in the shortest possible time, unlike self-government now.
Now.
You get to understand it. Now, no, let's stay back and prepare ourselves. Let's give people scholarships to go and learn. Let's put people learn from these people for some time before we go and take it, so that by that time we'll be we're really prepared. But of course, the history remembers the winner. One person said, "Let's go and get it now and bring it." But the moment we bring it now and brought it, the moment we took it now and brought it, we've taken the thing and we didn't know what to do with it. In Tuesday, for fraud.
Okay.
You understand? Because very few people understood how to really manage a country. And trust me, knowledge to run a country is not in one person's head.
Yeah.
It cuts across a lot of people. So when someone is doing such, or someone is doing those things, you tend to see the loopholes in it. So it got to a time where Africa was running back to the people we took independence from. You were ruling me. I said, no, I can rule myself. Go away. Give me my country. Right?
Yeah.
Then I take my country. After less than 10 years, you see me running back to you. I need help. There are some of the things I can't do. My education is failing. My health is failing. Please come and help me. I don't know. I don't know if you see the dynamic I'm moving
Yeah,
at.
yeah, I get it.
Africa ran back to the European powers for help.
But
Most of the you see Ghana running back, you see Nigeria, you see Tanzania running back, you see the French colonies running back.
but
Mali, Guinea.
I think it's because of what they decided to do that made African run back to them. Because
Yeah,
um
we can look at it from both sides.
okay,
Yeah, we can look at it from both sides. Maybe they set a trap and we fell inside. Maybe they know
yeah,
the road better than us and they set us a trap and we fell inside. Maybe it was us who ran into a ditch. Mm. Because at some point in time, everything in Ghana was free.
yeah,
Education free, education from even university students were being paid. Let's not forget that these people, the people who we are saying were running everything on themselves, became authoritarians, became dictators. They also did a lot of things for us. They
sure,
established universities, they established dams to give us electricity, they established state farms, you understand? They established, they constructed roads, railways. In fact, they put measures in place to make sure, but development is not like development is a step-by-step approach. Where do we develop for it to affect what? For it to affect what and what? That is, development is a process, it's not an event. It's not like the moment you construct good roads in your country will start developing. No. I can start doing roads. Somebody will start investing in agriculture. Another person will start investing in education. And later you see different results for different people. We invested in
okay,
education, we invested in health, we invested in. But within that time, we realized that our investments were not yielding the foreseen or the expected um, returns.
okay,
And every day I say in 1964, Ghana had inflation of 0.4.
mm-hmm.
By 1965, the same Ghana, the same country, an inflation of 24%. What happened within 1 year that inflation of 0.4 could run to 24%? And you could see why Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown the next year, 1966.
But before you get there, um, when you look at immediately Ghana gained their independence, the way Ghana was developing, like as you said, it was in like socialism. So the government took every development step, built factories, bought ships, airlines for the country. But getting to, let's say, after 1980s,
Mm-hmm.
is there that IMF came into the scene?
No,
Then
1980s. That's where after we decided to do things on our own, we couldn't do it on our own.
okay,
Then we ran back to the white man.
but from
The white man
where
instructed. Now
where
let me relax.
okay,
Let me explain something small in 5 minutes for you to understand.
okay,
What I first said was all political. Now let's go into the economic legacies. Let's do the
okay,
economics. Okay. Now, because the white man identified Africa as a natural resource hub for its firms or its growing industry, okay, they took they took each country has a major product they were siphoning from. So if you see Nigeria, they were taking yam and oil. On no, oil was not there. They were taking yam. They were taking what do you call it? Uh, let's say other raw materials. In Ghana here, they were taking gold. You understand? Um, our next country, Cote d'Ivoire. That's why they Ivory Coast. They were taking ivory
yeah,
and others from there. You understand? Now, the moment you become the manager of such an economy, one, you realize that there's limited infrastructure.
okay,
There's no road linking your cities because the white man relied on the sea to transport food or whatever resource to his country. So he wasn't interested in connecting your cities. He had rail, train from where the resources are to the port. So you could see that there is train in the western region, there is train in Accra here to the
yeah,
Tema Harbor, and it takes it away. You could see that almost all the African economies depended on one or two commodities for export. Ghana
yeah,
was exporting cocoa. Okay. Nigeria was exporting, yes, similarly cocoa and yam. You go to Tanzania, they had gold. Rhodesia, they have Northern Rhodesia and Southern Rhodesia, Zambia and Zimbabwe. The land is very fertile. They are
yeah,
taking their natural resources. So there were very little or no industrialization on this side. Okay. So when these people who came and I said they favored the socialist ideas, when they came, okay, they started establishing import substitution industries
okay,
and creating state-owned enterprises, not private-owned enterprises, so state-owned enterprises. Okay, but now when you start establishing state-owned enterprise, it means you need managers, you need marketers, you need product managers. But you understand what I'm saying? But if
yeah,
you have a company here, we have shoe factory, we have whatever factories here, you need people who can manage it well.
yeah,
But we didn't have a good education system to produce the managers to manage it, to manage those companies.
okay,
Okay, and that is why I said Africa was suffering from leadership crisis. When you establish a state railway company, state transport company, okay, you establish whatever, a state shipping line. You need people who understand the shipping industry, who have learned to the top to compete
yeah,
with the white man who have already been milking you for over 100 years. But trust me, you don't have it. You just had independence. Okay. So the creation of the state-owned industries, that's why Kwame Nkrumah established a lot of industries, and within 10 years, most of them were collapsing.
yeah,
Because people didn't understand how to manage such companies. And the appointment will be my friend. You are my friend. Anoche, come and manage this book publishing, whatever. Mm. I'll establish shoe industry. I'll call my brother. Oh, come and be the manager here. And they'll be taking
okay,
fat salaries with no qualification or no consideration for qualification. Okay, I think they did their best, but their best was not enough to compete at the world class level. You can't. That's why I say I'm beginning to understand why some people said self-government gradually in the shortest possible time. Because by that time, they wanted to be under the white man. You understand?
Yeah.
To learn from the white man and tap his knowledge before they take independence. Okay. So the results for the success was mixed. Rising debt. People think Ghana started going to IMF in the 1980s. Even under Kwame Nkrumah, we went to IMF.
Wow.
But the debt was rising. Our exports were not performing well. Poor exports. And I've told you, the public companies were established. They were not performing well. Okay. That is the idea. Okay. So if political wise, like when we started, for me, I think that one man running the show give platform to others to also bring their input to help. It would have been good, right? And three, and secondly, the creation of the state-owned enterprises. I think there should have been some level of private involvement in creating enterprises, because even here we realize that the companies which private people established perform better than those the government established. You understand? And when you flip it around, you could see that the white man was milking you to make sure that your cocoa goes to chocolate companies,
Yeah.
and you have been worrying them for about 10 years that you want independence. Okay, between that time, they can find a way to stifle your exports because you are bringing us cocoa, and we can say, oh, okay, between this time we don't need your cocoa again, just to slow down your progress.
Okay.
You
Because
understand?
let,
So,
let me ask you this,
uh-huh.
because the reason why I was saying that, one of my lecturers, Professor Omari,
Mhm.
he told us that when they were in university back then, like companies will come there at the day of graduation to come
And
and
pick
take
them.
students to go and work for them.
That is what I'm saying. Because the need was there. You understand? The need was there. Those times when the companies were there, the companies realized that they needed people with certain level of mindset,
Okay.
certain level of what do you call it? Knowledge to help
Okay.
them. And that knowledge, for me, if you are, I don't know if you worked in any Ghanaian public institution as a university graduate before, they will tell you that, Masa, anya na obey your school, some know how.
Yeah.
People there might, so when you go and you want to implement even what you, yeah, because people there, we have Meba Hache, MBA. I've been here for long. You can't come here and, you understand?
Yeah.
So even when they hide the university graduates in later, they didn't even give them the platform to implement what they've learned, right, in those days. And that caused the downfall of those, all the plenty um, state-owned enterprises. And even till now, you could see that we have, most of these African countries have not been able to shift away from the economy the white man built. What economy did the white man build? The white man built an economy that will produce raw materials to be exported to their companies
Land.
and to be used as a raw material. It's not what we are doing right now. Still, we are doing it. Now we
Yeah.
have even added the non-traditional exports. At first, it was gold, what cocoa, timber. Now they are added a non-traditional exports. People exporting pineapple. People are exporting cashew, right? So we are still doing the same thing. And the moment you do the same thing, you become a price taker. The white man doesn't produce. But now we are all going to sell to Britain. We all have the same thing. And we are going to sell to Britain. So Britain wakes up one morning and says, oh, okay, I'll give you $30 per ton. 30 pounds per ton. If you don't sell, you are bringing it home. You don't have any company here to sell to. You are always a price taker. You're not a price giver. In actual sense, whoever is selling gives the price. I don't think Toyota will produce a car and tell us that, oh, how much are we giving them? No, they will set the price for us.
Yeah.
But why are we producing cocoa, timber, gold, and they are giving us the price?
That's why I have problem with.
Because we've not been innovative. That's why I stated something that when someone is ruling you, someone is taking your house, and you've been able to sack the person that you want to manage your own house. Okay. But when the person went away, in less than 10 years, we were running after him to come and help you to manage the house. Do you think this person will help you?
No.
No.
You know,
That has been Africa's problem.
you know
Africa
what
has not learned, even, see, we are always, all of Africa, everybody is trying to sell to Europe and then American markets. They don't produce.
Yeah.
But they are giving us prices. But Africa have not learned South-South trade. We've not even learned to trade amongst ourselves. We live in Africa. Someone lives in Ghana. He has never been to Togo.
Yeah.
You don't know what is in Togo. But if we go to Togo and we do a lot of collaborations with Togo, we will see what Togolese need, and that is here, and it is cheaper, and what is there, and it's also cheaper there, and we trade amongst ourselves. Somebody in Ghana never been to Benin. Simply because we are very close, even than Nigeria, but because they speak French, you understand?
Yeah.
And we speak English, so we don't even want to hear from them. So
That's sad.
a white man was saying, oh, he thought Nigeria is just close to Ghana because Ghana, we play with Nigeria a lot. So there are two whole countries between us.
Between us, yeah.
Two whole
So,
countries.
some of my friends here always ask me. I tell them,
Last
no, 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 no.
3-4 years, me and my friends, we went to Ivory Coast. As grown as I am, I had never been to Ivory Coast until then. Okay, so you can imagine.
Yeah, then I'm lucky. I have been in Burkina,
So,
Ivory Coast, and
so
Togo.
Africa is so large, and the land has a lot to give us.
Yeah.
Okay, but we don't trade amongst ourselves. Congo is bleeding. It's the white man dictating what is going on in Congo. But there are a lot of Africans around Congo who don't even care about what is going around inside Congo.
Exactly.
But from Ghana to Congo, there's no sea. If you are from Ghana and say you are going to Congo, you won't cross one sea. You won't cross one sea. It's land. You can go by land, sir. Even walk, sir, and you get to Congo.
Congo. So
We are not integrating. So now, even the education we are giving ourselves. Okay, now there's increased investment in education. Okay, increased investment in health. Okay, but Africans don't know even more about. The white man knows more about Africa than we, the Africans.
exactly. Yeah.
We have to know more about Africa. Okay, so maybe I will want to end here, but maybe when our next meeting we'll talk about maybe Africa's economic crisis and the structural adjustments.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we know that when we went back to them, what did they tell us to do?
Okay.
And
because
the things they told,
I have more questions.
Yeah, the things they told us to do, did they help us or help them?
Okay.
Okay. There's a South Korean economist. He wrote a book, Kicking Away the Ladder. He said the white man is like a certain snake. When it is walking, it keeps cleaning its tracks.
Okay.
So that you don't know where it passed. Okay. The white man has developed. And when they developed, they didn't tell we Africans how they developed.
Yeah.
But when we go to them to help us to develop like them, they give us something different. They don't want to show it exactly what they did to develop. In fact, they are giving it the exact opposite of how what they did to develop.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we talk about that one.
Yeah. Because when you look at even the Eastern European, that Ghana GDP is more higher than them. The country is developed.
Mm-hmm.
And I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in our next
video,
we will start from there. The first one is, I'm now beginning to understand why people are saying that democracy is not good for Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Because from our previous studies, we got to know that Africa was monarch states. Mm-hmm. Like even in Ghana, Asante State, like they were all having their kings and queens who were leading them. Yeah. So it's either we don't understand the political terrain and we understand the monarch state than political states. And my second question will be like, is it not because Africa started owning like socialism, like the country owning some companies? Because when you come to Europe, the state are not owning companies, apart from the state institutions like education, health sector, the same as we have in Ghana, but the state is not owning, they are not owning companies like Ghana used to have. Is it that the white people saw that when they leave Africa to go on that route, Africa will develop more faster than them? So let's talk about
I've
this.
jotted your two questions down.
Yeah, let's talk about it in our next video.
Next week.
Okay.
Please bring these two questions again. We will do justice to it.
Okay. Because there are a lot we need to do justice to, because Africa need to develop again.
Exactly.
Yeah. If today is the first time you are watching us, the program is Money, Mindset, and Psychology. With me is Mr. Muhammad Abubakar. He's a PhD student, researcher, analyst, and if you have data and you need someone to help you with it, you can get in touch with him. Just put that at the comment section. If you have any question, drop it at the comment section. Try to share, subscribe, and follow us so that whenever we drop a new video, you'll be the first person to watch. My brother, thank you for passing through.
Bless up, my brother.
Bless okay.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness.